Welcome back. I am your host, and we are here in Kitchen 143, of course, to explore more recipes, more fun, and share the kitchen love as we get together with some of our friends. It has been raining hard these past few months. We know that the rainy season is from June until November. Hopefully, we are coming out of it now, but this rainy season won't get us down, I promise, because in this episode, we'll be sharing recipes that make these dreary, stormy days just a little bit bearable for some rainy day comfort. Joining me today are Pacholo Garcia Marrera of Espafil, Nicole Thorpe of Nix, and Renee Rodrigo of Oh Holiday to share their own rainy day comforting recipes. Be sure to watch out, guys. You know the drill. We have Quiz the Cook questions all throughout the show for everybody to, of course, partake in what the partners are sending over, what the partners will send out, all comforting, starting with a gift basket of pantry essentials from Espafil Market, a Christmas gift box also of pastries from the Daily Need. We'll also have an ID holder, a coin purse, and a gift certificate from DS to enjoy your own spa treatments and clinical treatments as well. That also offers comfort. We'll also get 50 grams of a blended tea from Oh Holiday that you can collect in their store in Rockwell, a gift box with ready-to-heat meals from Nix, and from Manuka, you'll receive some MGO30 honey, some lozenges, oral spray. Of course, if you are feeling under the weather, this is the rainy season after all, magnets, and an umbrella from Manuka Health. And you'll also receive some organic milk with an acrylic tumbler and a tote bag from Lemu. Of course, you guys know the drill here. Make sure to share the live stream. Sharing is caring. And making sure that you have an address to send everything to in Metro Manila. Some of our partners will ask that you come in since everything is open now. We are going out, we're venturing out. You can go in and go ahead and visit some of their storefronts. Others will go ahead and send their products directly to your doorstep. We are broadcasting live today from Rapplers and Momma and Manila's Facebook page, from Rapplers YouTube and Rapplers Twitter account. So feel free to go ahead and ask us questions in the comment section, should you have any. And of course, let us know where you're watching from. We want to see where you guys are all tuning in from. And if it's rainy over where you are, I know it's kind of dreary out. So let's welcome Pacholo and Nick and Renee on screen. Hi, guys. Okay,
Hello.
Hello. How are you today? It's a dreary day over here in Taguig. How about where you guys are?
A bit overcast, but technically we're using all natural light, so it's good to have a little bit of a break from the rain.
Fantastic. Renee, how about you? It looks nice and sunny where you are.
Actually, we're in Mandaluyong, so we're kind of in the heart of the city. And it is a really beautiful day today, thank God.
Excellent. And Nick, tell us where you're coming in from.
So here at Nix in Park Terraces, it's quite gloomy right now, but the day started a little sunny. So let's see. Hopefully it doesn't end up too bad later today.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely bring some sunshine to the show today. So for all of our viewers who are tuning in, I see some of them are saying hello already and telling us where they're from. Hi, Mock. Hi, Michael. Lee, hello. Congratulations. I hope you got your prizes from the last episode. We also have Mark Simon Ting, Kitchen 143, number 1. So good to see you again, Mark. It's good to see some of our regular viewers here. For everyone who is tuning in, I know, Nick, this is your second time on the show, so I'll save you for last. But let's start with Pacholo. Tell us what you do, about the products and the partnership that we have today. I know you're also from Espafil, and then tell us a little bit about Espafil, when you got started, and how it's a family business. I love that part.
Well, it's an import business from that my dad started in 1987. So I'm part of the second generation who didn't have to go through the hardships he did of starting the business. We basically import canned food and edible oils from Europe, mostly Spain and Italy. We do have a bit of juice and wine as well, but mostly some food. We do have two main brands of Molinera and Capri, which you'll find in supermarkets nationwide and hotel and restaurants that do use it a lot, and even some manufacturers and even some non-food guys that use our olive oil, for example, for soap. So that's pretty much us.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Excellent. And
none of these are not all everything's ours. I guess for the viewers, these are the gift stuff that's gonna be there. At least you get a bit of a preview. So like these things, the few things here are the ones that are mine.
yes. So that's all included in the gift basket. So you guys who are tuning in, you'll get quality olive oil, of course, and pantry staples that I normally have in my pantry as well. Molinera is my brand for beans. I usually have at least 3 or 4 different kinds of beans in the pantry, depending on what my daughter likes to eat. Beans are a good source of protein for her. She's semi-vegetarian. Sometimes she likes meat. So beans are very important in our family. And of course, the tomatoes, Capri. I am a Capri user, especially the big can. When we make a big pot of tomatoes, the Italians, we need a big pot. So I need 1 big can of tomatoes plus the crushed. So happy user here. Pachola, when did your dad start the company?
So he started in 1987, actually. So he moved from Spain late in the 70s, where he left a country that just ended a dictatorship and went to a country that started one. So I don't know what's wrong with him, but it turned out well for him at the end of the day. And so actually it's pretty cute, the story where the owner of Molinera, which is a brand in Spain, married the friend of my mom, and that's actually how they put the things together and said, why don't you try importing our products to the Philippines? And so we were actually one of their, if not the first country they exported to.
Wow, that's fantastic. So you have a long-standing relationship with this flagship brand, obviously for Espafil. And I love that there's like a love story there. That's your dad and your mom and then her bestie. Question, when he started bringing those in, was there Spanish products or the Molinera brand? Were there a lot of things that he was missing from back home? Like, was he looking for comforting things like that?
No, actually, there were a few Spanish restaurants already around. So I guess to get his fix, he could still go to those. The original Albas was
Yes.
one of the go-tos there, right?
Yeah.
But then when it came to the products, it was actually looking for the need for, ironically, canned products, where that's why tomatoes are our flagship product, because back then all the hotels and restaurants would have to make things from scratch.
Wow.
So from a business point of view, if you think that 20 people will order bolognese, then you prepare good for 20. But when
Right.
5 people show up, what do you do? Right. And then sadly, for the Philippines, the production is actually inconsistent locally. So during rainy weather like now, you get a lot of big tomatoes, but they're very watery and lack taste. And summer months, the tomatoes are much smaller and more acidic. So again, from a business point of view, restaurants cannot maintain quality consistently. And so canned tomatoes from Italy with no additives are actually the staple for the big chains and businesses.
Fantastic. That makes so much sense. But I know, comfort food wise, tomatoes are a comfort food for me. Renee, how about you? What is comfort? A comfort food, or what do you look for when it's rainy and dreary? Tell us about what you do as well. I'm really excited to learn, your path and how you chose to end up doing what you're doing.
Yes, thank you. Hi, everyone. So I'm Renee Rodrigo, and I'm a registered herbalist. And I actually own the shop Oh Holiday. We're located in Rockwell Mall, and we mainly sell our herbal teas. So on a rainy day, obviously, my staff and we all love to have a cup of immunity blend tea or the general relaxation tea. Those are some of our best sellers currently at the moment. And I'm excited to actually share with you what's inside of our blends as well.
Excellent. Well, so herbalism, I know this is something that, obviously a lot of people may not know too much about. I know there are, we'll dive into it a little bit later in the episode as to, food that heals, food as medicine, and the herbs, obviously, the path that you chose in studying this obviously can help, with lots of different things during the rainy season. You mentioned in particular the immunity blend.
Yes, correct. So actually, a lot of our herbs are either detoxifying or clearing herbs, and a lot of them are also simple herbs such as berries and fruits, dried fruits that you see just around, like oranges. We have a berry that's called rose hip. People might be familiar with rose hip tea. And we
Yes.
have things like ginger, red dates, Chinese red dates, rose, chamomile. All of these herbs, though, have different actions in the body. So it's really important to understand what they do to the body, how they work in the body, and we actually blend all of these herbs in house. So they're blended by me and my team, and they're dosed properly to give you the best maximum benefits.
Really? So it's beyond comfort. It's actually medicinal.
Some of the teas are actually medicinal, and I do see clients privately. Actually, this I was seeing clients privately through the pandemic, and then I was blending their teas. We're actually fairly new in terms of tea blending, because some of my clients were referring our teas to our friends, but they didn't want consultations. So they were like, "Can we just buy the tea?" And I was like, "Sure, of course, I can blend it up for you." And then we were blending in my house, me and my team. And then all of a sudden it exploded. And then now we have that spot in Rockwell.
Which I visited, and it's really great that you have a physical store. So if people are, they want to dabble or they want to see and they like to touch things, it's so much different having the full experience. And I noticed that you also have sage on the counter. So I will visit you when I run out of my stash. Nick, talking about, visiting stores. Nino and I have been loyal turkey orderers, right? For Thanksgiving, we always order our turkey from you and your mom, but you have a store where you are now. Tell us about Nick's and some of the things that we're going to talk about today that you're also going to share with some of the viewers.
Okay. Hi, Michelle. I'm super thrilled to be back here in your show. Thank you for having me. For those who actually follow the show, Nick's is a commissary / retail center where we have different frozen items and ready-to-eat meals that you can already heat and prepare yourself. During the pandemic, we kind of had to pivot a bit because everyone was stuck at home, and not everyone can cook a meal and everyone has work. So we needed to come up with ways that you could have an instant meal that's not only fast to make but also healthy as well. So you'll see later on in the show, we prepared like very quick, maybe 5 to 10 minute meals that you can do on your own, and you can get ingredients as well from us. And we actually use some Escafil products in some of our dishes too. So we're excited to show you that.
Excellent. Okay, so thank you for that segue, because I did want to share a recipe that is very special to me. It's actually one of the first recipes that I learned from my Aunt Josie. She is my dad's second sister. She taught me how to make lentil soup. So there's on the Espafil website, Pacholo's mom has come up with this digital cookbook. So obviously you guys know a lot of the recipes we share, even some of the recipes that our guests share, usually are handed down, or they're things they learned with their mom or their grandma. Aunt Josie, she lived well into her 90s, and she taught me how to make this recipe. It's Italian lentil soup. This quick recipe, because of the Molinera canned lentils, it's a soup that normally takes hours to make if you use dried beans, but because lentils also come in a can with Molinera, I was able to make this quick soup in like 20 minutes. And I just threw in some elbows. It was really easy to make. And I'm excited to share this recipe now with everyone here. We can roll it. So this is packed with flavor. A lot of the times when you make a soup, you can use your cheese rinds to add more flavor, or you can use some type of dried meat. I know in Picholo's mom's recipe, she uses chorizo. For this one, I use prosciutto bits. Ideally, I would use a ham hock and boil it for a long time, or even put it in the slow cooker. So here I just did onions, garlic, celery, prosciutto. I even had some leftover carrots. I threw it in there, cleaned out the can, threw the leaves of the celery in it as well, and just brought it to a boil. Deglazed the pan with the lentils, actually, because it was quite hot, and grate some Parmigiano Reggiano on it. It's like so super easy. If you wanted to make this a little bit heartier, what my kids asked me to do, so I served it with with elbows, which is how I ate it growing up. We'd have that and maybe some bread, and that would be like a hearty soup that we would have for a light, for a dinner, would just be soup and focaccia, or soup and Italian bread, crusty bread. But my kids like tortellini. So sometimes I'll just throw some tortellini in there, and that is super easy, comforting. It's packed with good flavors. Of course, the lentils are there. Very easy, always in the pantry. So this brings us, do you guys like lentil soup? If you were going to say what your favorite comforting soup is, what would it be, Pacholo?
Well, before that, if you're going to be adding bread to your soup, always use Nick's Parmesan sticks.
Yes, they are super yummy. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So what's a comforting soup for you?
Well, actually, the soup that I really like the most, it's not featured here because it's quite complicated. It's called the cocido soup from Spain.
Yes.
That's what my grandma used to make. There are a handful of restaurants that do have them here, like Manuka and Terry's.
Okay.
And it's if there is one soup that I have to choose and drink for the rest of my life, it would be that. But that's in Spain, so it's harder to do that here because it takes much longer. But if I were to choose the Pinoy one, it's nilagang baka. I think it's not really a soup; it's a main thing. But the broth, I mean, if you're bored of nilagang baka, you add a bit of cinnamon and star anise, and now it's pho. So technically,
yes.
Right. So you have two versions already, one soup.
There you go. I get the feeling that you do spend a little bit of time in the kitchen, Pacholo.
Well, it actually is. Yes, my mom and I do enjoy the kitchen. What actually, it's funny how I actually started liking to cook in the kitchen. It's when I would go on dates before. I'd go to a restaurant, try something good, balk at the price, and say, I don't want to pay this again.
I can make that at home.
So there was a time where our cook, whenever I'd leave for a date, or she'd see me dressed up, she'd go, Patch, magbaon ka ng recipe pag uwi mo, ha? And then we would try to figure things out. And I think that was the fun part of learning how to cook, like dissecting what you try in a restaurant and then later on finding out that some of them are actually quite simple.
Yes. Yeah, actually, Nino and I tend to do that as well. And so do our kids even. My kids will even dissect a recipe and say, Mom, it might be better if we do this. So Pia actually is tuning in. She's watching in and she says that the lentil soup looks good. Thanks, Pia. No F-bombs being dropped here on cam. So Nick, what's your favorite soup? Your favorite comforting soup on a rainy day?
Hi. So
looks like we're having some technical.
Sorry,
there you
Michelle,
go.
I lost you for a bit.
There you go. I can hear you now.
Okay. So I'm a little bit biased with Filipino chicken tinola soup. However, in time with the Thanksgiving season, like you mentioned earlier, our Maggie's East Coast turkey is one of our best-selling platter dishes. And what we like to do is instead of just throwing the bones away, we keep the bones, boil them, and then turn it into turkey soup. Very simple. Just add carrots, celery, and then your choice of noodles, like even macaroni. And that's definitely a comfort soup for me. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And for a zero waste kitchen, we're making use of all of the different parts, right? So this is definitely a time where we're mindful of ingredients and mindful of what, even just not throwing anything away when people are hungry. So I think Pia also says the male
Exactly.
guest on the show looks very cute too. She's so cute. Hi, Pia. Renee, what is your go-to comforting soup when it's rainy?
My 3 kids and I, my whole family, we actually love sinigang, any kind of sinigang. We use fresh tamarinds for it. So we actually don't use any like powdered flavoring. So we really have to boil that soup to really get the tamarind flavor out. It's really so delicious.
I've never tried making
Yum.
it from scratch like that, but I can only imagine how fresh the flavors would be. I will confess, I like to make things easy, but maybe I can get that recipe from you so that I can try making it as well. I'm sure it will be delicious. All right, guys, that brings us to our first quiz, the cook question. Up for grabs, we have a gift basket with pantry essentials from Espafil Market. We also have a Christmas gift box of pastries from the Daily Need. You'll also receive a 2,000 peso gift certificate from DS for some treatments, 50 grams of a blended tea from Oh Holiday, a gift box with ready-to-heat meals from NYX. You'll also receive Manuka honey, lozenges, oral spray, magnets, and an umbrella, perfect for rainy season. And then you'll also receive some organic milk, an acrylic tumbler, and tote from Lemu, of course. We know that you guys are sharing the live stream. Of course, make sure it's set to public so we can see it. We have to have our social media team double checking there, guys. Remember, hashtag sharing is caring. You must also have an address in Metro Manila. So this is where if you don't live in Metro Manila and you're watching from outside, you can send it to your cousin, you can send it to your boyfriend, you can send it to your mother-in-law if you like, but be sure that that address is in Metro Manila. So for some of you guys, Oh Holiday, you will go ahead and pick up. You can visit their store in Rockwell. And for NYX, you can go ahead and visit their store in Makati as well and pick up your goodies there too. So here we go. I will read this first question so that are you guys ready? They are. They're like so ready. What months are included in the rainy season for the Philippines? So while everybody is either Googling or trying to remember what we said earlier in the show, I'm going to go ahead and read some comments. Lee is saying it's perfect ang tunay na asim from fresh tamarind. So Renee, she likes sinigang with fresh tamarind as well. And Ditas also says sarap ng fresh sampalok. Comforting seems invigorating. Susan was saying that maybe the lentil soup is comforting. Other people are saying sopas is yummy. They like sopas.
If I can interrupt that part, the
Yeah.
turkey bones, what we do is actually after Thanksgiving, we turn it into turkey sopas.
Yes. And that's so yummy. I love when it's been sitting for a little while and the macaroni kind of sops up all the soup too. I think that's why everybody loves it. While we are seeing who answers this question correctly, let's talk about family bonding. So Nick, I know you're not a mom yet. And Pacholo, I know you have 2 kids. Renee, I think I did a little research. You also have 2 kids. Is it 2 children? 1. 3.
3.
Not listening, no prize for you.
3. So tell us what you guys do when you're bonding with the kids on these rainy days. Like when my kids get sent home, if it's a storm, if they get sent home, immediately everybody's in jammies and we're watching movies. How about you guys?
Yeah, we actually do the same. I have very small children. I have a 7-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old. But oddly enough, all 3 of them love horror films. So when it's a really gloomy day, we get into bed and we all watch some horror films.
Okay, well that's crazy. So what's the last horror film you guys just watched?
It was I can't remember the name, but it's on Netflix, and it was like a children's anime horror film, and I thought it was going to be very light, but it was actually terrifying. I'll have to get the name for you.
Oh my goodness! And they liked it.
They love it. They love it.
Okay. So I'm from the school that I can only watch horror films during the day. Like while it's still light out. If it's dark, we're watching comedy.
Yeah.
Pocholo, how about you? What do you like to do when you're when the kids come home or when they're home with you?
Well, with my daughter, she just turned 2 this year. She was born the week before lockdown, so there's a lot of fun. Just her getting to do any activity. She likes to sing. Frozen is the last song syndrome that plays in my nightmares when I sleep. With my son, who is 4.5 years old, that's the one where during the pandemic, I taught him how to make espressos from with the handheld machine, and
Fantastic.
more importantly, for the afternoons, how to make martinis. So
Excellent. So your 4-year-old knows how to make martinis?
yes, so
I'm
as
coming
in,
over.
the funny thing is that at the beginning, when he was learning how to make both of them, actually we learned it when back during lockdown, right? There were times when he'd just be so excited he'd mix. So sometimes first thing in the morning he'd go, "Daddy, you want martinis?" Like, yo,
Not yet.
not
Not yet,
yet.
son.
Espresso martinis maybe, but then mommy might think we
Excellent.
have problems.
Excellent. I love it. I'm coming over when it's happy hour. Nick, how about you? What's comforting? What do you like to do, when it's like this and we have to spend a little bit more time indoors?
So when we have to spend a little more time indoors during the rainy season, probably the same as Renee. I like enjoying movies, particularly horror and comedy as well. And maybe like preparing a snack together and putting that as like a me time thing, and maybe a cup of tea as well. So I can feel a
Yeah.
little bit better after munching on all the goodies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm actually very, very excited to try Renee's blends that she sent over to us the other day. So yeah, looking
What
forward
blend
to
did
that.
you get? Did you get
Sorry?
relaxation also? Did you get relaxation
Yes, as
also?
well.
You did.
Uh-huh. Yes,
Okay.
I did. And yeah, I'm excited for that. And I went through her website and there's so many more other blends. So I'm excited to try actually her custom blend, which I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll send her a message after this. So maybe we can customize something for me.
Excellent. And that will be all through the consultation, which I know she offers, right? So that'll be
Exactly.
fun, and it'll definitely be a learning experience. I want to hear about that. I think we have a
Same.
winner. We have a winner for our first Quiz the Cook question. Jen Yu Tan answered correctly with June to November. Congratulations, Jen. The social media team will be getting in touch with you. So you'll have to, of course, claim your prizes in Rockwell and also at Nick's for O Holiday in Rockwell and Nick's in Makati and also as well. So, and then we'll be sending the rest over to you. So before we go into sharing the next video, a lot of times I think when we talk about comfort, I know when the kids are really small, they always used to look for me. Mom, my tummy hurts. Mom, I'm tired. Mom, of course. And a lot of times I know matriarchs, the moms, the grandmas, if you're blessed to live in a household where you have multi-generations taking care of one another, grandma also offers comfort as well. And Pacholo learned cooking from his mom. And Nicole, how about you? I know your mom obviously has been busy in the kitchen. I know you come from a lot of the women actually spend time in the kitchen as well. Did you, besides mom, was there anyone else that influenced how you cook or how you prepare food?
Sorry, Renee, could you repeat that last part?
Just who influenced you in the kitchen or who provided comfort besides mom, or was it just mom, right? So like for me, it was mom. My grandma lived with us as well. My Nana, my Italian grandma. Was there anyone else that also influenced how you look for comfort or who provided comfort?
Okay, I got that one. So I'm lucky because our entire family basically cooks, but mainly it was really my mom, her sister, and my grandma as well. So Thanksgiving is a really big thing for our family. So we always make sure to get together and gather for that special occasion, apart from birthdays and as well as holidays. So yeah, I'm pretty lucky in that fact that our family is a foodie one. And I guess it just carried on to us as well. So myself and my other cousins, and we also do like different baking recipes as well. So apart from our recipes that are handed down through the generations, we try to create our own or get things from online now and then try to
Right.
mix it up as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Always making it just a little bit of yours. So for me, one of the things that I loved was rice pudding. And there's nothing like grandma's rice pudding, or in this case, Oma's rice pudding. And in this case, what I did use, we had limu. So for you guys who are tuning in, you will get some limu delivered to your doorstep as well, the organic milk. It's from France. I made this rice pudding that has been a recipe, and I've been making this for my kids for so long. I'd like make a half gallon of it when we were still living in New York, and just, slowly simmer it. Again, I made this using this recipe. I kind of tweaked it a little to make it a little bit faster, so you don't have to stand there for 45 minutes and stir the raw rice. I actually used cooked rice, threw the cooked rice in, and cut my cooking time in half. But the beauty of limu is, first of all, it's 100% pure cow's milk. We know that calcium builds strong bones, and DHA omega-3 helps with brain development. So this is the type of milk that you can give your kids after they've turned 1, right? So none of my kids after breast milk. When at 1 year old, I gave them cow's milk already. And the beauty in this also is that it's GMO free. It's available here. You can order online for limu. And I'm going to share this Oma's rice pudding recipe with everyone. That's super easy. I'll walk you through it and we'll show the video. So this is a shortened version. Before, I used to just put the raw rice in, the bigas. And because I wanted to cut time, I put cooked rice in, just used 1 liter of milk, used the white sugar, also cinnamon. What else did I put in there? Cinnamon, vanilla, right? And after we bring that to a boil, where the rice, like you sit there for a while, stir it, stir it, stir it. Also butter. I forgot the butter. And then the white sugar, and to cook it to thicken it up, right? So after it's been boiling for a while, the rice breaks down, you put cream and vanilla and the egg, and you have to temper it, right? So you want to temper it so that the eggs don't become scrambled. You mix in slowly, ladle by ladle, the hot liquid, which is the milk, the rice, and the sugar and the butter. And for this, just added benefit, put a little Manuka honey, which of course we know honey has lots of benefits, especially this honey from New Zealand. But if you wanted to cut back on the sugar and just use the honey as the sweetener, you could do that too. The beauty in the limu milk is that it's actually UHT, so you could leave it in the cabinet, and the only time you have to put it in the fridge is when you open it. I don't know if you guys like rice pudding. I know Filipinos, we have champorado, we have ube champorado. Usually it's served warm. For this recipe, I usually serve, I make a big batch and I put it in the fridge, and we'll eat it cold, in fact. So it looks like we lost Nick for a little while. So we'll just go ahead and hopefully she can sign back on, right? I hope she's not having technical difficulties and the weather is not also affecting her. She said it was kind of dark. So Michael says he also likes champorado. So for champorado, Renee and Pacholo, are you guys purists? Does it have to be chocolate tablea, or do you like ube champorado as well?
Renee, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Actually, my stepfather is Turkish, and we're in Turkey a lot. So we spend summers in Turkey, and there's a Turkish dish called sutlak, and it's actually almost close to your recipe. So we love the white rice pudding. My kids love champorado, of course, but the white rice pudding is something special because it has cinnamon and the vanilla, and then you have these like really creamy flavors. I love it. Yeah.
Super. Yay! So you can try this one too with your limu milk if you would like to make it. It's so easy. It's more time consuming than anything. Pacholo, how about you? Champorado, white rice pudding, or ube?
Ironically, none of the above. The but I do have something that because my grandfather from my mom's side is from Nueva Ecija, and there's
Okay.
something they have there. Apparently, not many people know about it. It's like a white champorado, but they actually use Carabao milk,
Uh-huh.
and you sprinkle rock salt and you eat it with chicharron, and you eat it hot.
Wow! That
So
sounds so
it's
that sounds so intriguing.
when we come home from abroad, it's actually the breakfast that I request for. So it's literally white champorado. So I think when you're using like organic milk like this one, I think you could also use it as a substitute because you want the thick milk, right? The fatty one,
Yeah.
and that's where the flavor comes from. But it's not for everyone to mix rock salt or dilis or chicharron with milk and rice, right? But trust me, no one has said they all say it's gross without trying it. Once they try it, they're like, okay, it's not really their type, but they get it.
They're sold. Wait, so question, clarify. The white rice champorado for I don't know what you would call it. You can tell me again. What did you call it?
It's gatas ng kalabaw. So it's basically
Gatas ng kalabaw. Okay,
Yeah.
so gatas ng kalabaw. Is it sweet and then it has a naturally sweet? You put sugar in it when you make it?
none. Pure
None.
milk and rice.
Okay.
Like leftover rice, obviously, it's always it's a good way to use leftover rice.
Yes.
You warm things separately because if you warm it together, then it just absorbs everything and becomes mush. But
Okay.
you heat it separately, then pour as is, and then the salt and
Okay.
the contrast.
I'm really intrigued. I think I need to know where you guys eat that. Okay. So
Rustanzas, the Carabao milk.
but is
They
there
don't
a place?
pasteurize it. That's the bad thing, though. It spoils fast.
Yes. Is there a place you go to eat it though, or is it really just something you have at home?
No, it's at home because it's not even that common in Central Luzon. I think like the only other person I know outside my family who's tried it is Chef Jessie because she's in Bulaqueña.
Okay.
Mhm.
Wait, here, Lee says, totoo yan, gatas ng kalabaw at kaning lamig plus itlog na maalat or tuyo. Yummy.
Wait.
So she likes the salted egg or the tuyo on top too.
Yes.
Great. So interesting. Yes, Althea's World is saying it's so interesting to see the Carabao milk, the rock salt, and the rice. Me too. I'm really interested. Okay. Lee also says that they have something like that in Pampanga.
There. So the north.
Yeah.
Northerners unite.
There you go. Okay, so this opens it up for another quiz the cook question up for grabs. You guys know we have some pantry essentials from Espafil. We also have a Christmas gift box of pastries from the Daily Need. I want to tell you about her when we're waiting for the winner for this question. We also have an ID holder, a coin purse, and 2,000 peso gift certificates from DS where you can avail of any of their treatments. They do nails, they do eyelash extensions, they do aesthetic treatments, skin treatments. So anytime you want pampering on those rainy days, you can go ahead and visit them. You also will have blended tea from Oh Holiday that you can collect in Rockwell, a gift box with ready-to-heat meals you can collect from NYX. Then you also have Manuka honey, lozenges, oral spray, magnets, and an umbrella for the rainy season as we come through it, and some organic milk, acrylic tumbler, and a tote bag. Remember that we need you to have shared the live stream, and we need an address in Metro Manila. This is question number 2. So we are picking, remember, we're 1, 4, 3. As we get to question 4 and 5, it'll be 1, 4, 3, 4, 4. So for this second question, we're picking commenter number 4 who answers correctly. And Pacholo, could you read this question for our viewers?
Go ahead. So, when did Espafil come together as a brand?
All right. So Pacholo and I talked about that earlier, and there was a little love story involved there. I thought it was really sweet. So I want to tell you before I read some more comments, I want to tell you about the Daily Need, and maybe we can show some of their products while I talk about them. So Francesca Herring actually started the Daily Need through the pandemic, as everybody ended up looking and scrambling for ingredients. For her, she was really looking for bread. So I want to show you guys some of the baked goods that she sent over. You'll see some. You'll receive some of these in your own Christmas box. And she also has cakes. She started actually baking sourdough. So like so many of us during the pandemic, we were looking for ingredients, right? So one of the things that she was particularly looking for was bread. She was shopping for multiple households. She had always loved baking and actually was baking when she was younger. I think she was baking and joining bazaars when she was in like 6th grade. And she did that all the way through high school. So she actually went back to this love of, baking and providing sweet treats and bread for her family. And of course, she realized it was also another way to bond with her children as well. So many of us, when we're in the kitchen, end up bonding with our kids. And then, out of it grew the Daily Need. She also has a storefront in Rockwell. So when you go pick up your tea from Renee, you can go stop by the Daily Need and pick up some pastries as well, beyond what she will be delivering to all of you as a winner. So I wanted to read some of the comments here. There are a lot of people who are answering correctly. I think we have a winner already. Yeah, we'll go ahead and answer. We'll go ahead and congratulate Alan, Victor, Tufi, Ventonilia. There you go. Tovi. Congratulations. He answered correctly, 1987. Ding, ding, ding. You will be contacted by the Rappler social media team. So be sure to provide your address and contact information so our partners who are here on screen and our partners who weren't able to join us on screen can send you your products to enjoy during these rainy days. So there was a comment here I wanted to read. I wanted to go back. So I think it was about the tea. I'll look for everybody. Gosh, everybody answered so many questions. It was about the champorado. Susan suggested mas masarap yung malagkit rice for the champorado. Yes, it is actually more. It's when it's thick like that and super malapot. It's yummy. Okay, Renee, I want to ask you, because I know we talked earlier in the episode about food as medicine and building immunity, and talking about like how we can do things naturally. And obviously with you studying herbalism, I'm sure you're very conscious of what you not only feed your 3 kids, but what you take in as well. Tell us about, the types of herbs and the benefits that you see for, clients of yours. If you want to share stories, it can be, you don't have to share any names. But even, some of the more popular blends that people are looking for now during the rainy season.
Yes. Well, actually, my specialty is in hormones, women and men. So I usually see clients and even young ladies with some hormonal imbalances. It's only because I relate so much to these women, as I had my own, I've had my own story of hormonal imbalances in my life, infertility and things like that. So, but specifically for the rainy season, most of our clients are looking for something to boost their immunity throughout the season, especially as we come towards the end of the year. I always recommend a lot of my clients to do a little bit of a flush, is what I call it. So it's some detoxifying herbs, very gentle, just an everyday tea for about 2 weeks. And then we have our immunity boosting tea, which I have mentioned earlier, and it has lots of great immune supporting herbs.
Yeah, what's in there? What's in the immunity building tea?
So in our immunity tea, we have kumquats, which most people know, they're the little kind of orange looking fruits. We have ginger, which is warming, and we have lotus leaf, which is our detoxifying herb, actually. Lotus leaf is this green type of herb. It's really a leaf, but when it's dried, you'll see like these little veins in it, and it's really comforting. It's a very good detoxifying herb. We have a berry called Schisandra berry.
Okay.
Schisandra berry is actually what we would call a tonic herb and an adaptogenic herb. So Schisandra berries actually help with providing the body with lots of trace minerals, vitamin C, and magnesium. And then the last thing that's in there is actually jujube or Chinese red dates. So we slice up these dates and they're dried, and they're a good source of also magnesium, vitamin C, and trace minerals.
Okay, excellent. What's the difference between the jujube and the regular dates, like the brown dates that we would see? Is jujube more healing or have more trace minerals that you were saying, different things that you would look for in a healing tea?
Well, the dates that you would find in like the Middle Eastern countries, those are really good as well. But if you dry them out, they're not so great for tea making.
Okay.
The Chinese red date, the jujube, is actually made in a lot of Chinese soups. If you go to a Chinese restaurant, you might see them in like a hot soup. So
Yes.
they're actually really good for teas as well, because when they're dried, they have this really kind of squishy feeling, and the flavors, you only need a little bit in your cup, and the flavor is really intense.
Excellent. So that immunity building tea, you said this is something like you would drink for 2 weeks. Do you drink it in the morning and the evening, or is it something you'll just drink once a day? When sometimes I would make a cup of tea and then I'll pour another, cup in the same tea with the same herbs. Is that something you suggest? Is that okay? Do you advise against it? New cup, new set of herbs, or new bunch of herbs?
This is actually a question we get so often, because people want to make really good use of their tea and they want to save it. And they want to bid. So it's perfectly fine. I actually recommend, if you make your tea in a French press, a really large French press, and you can get at least 3. Yes, exactly. So you could get like 2 to 3 cups out of that, and that's perfectly fine as well.
Okay, excellent. So that's what I did with the relaxation tea that you sent over. I'm very relaxed, but of course excited at the same time to learn more about how we can, take what Mother Nature has given us, basically, and put it to good use. So aside from teas, of course, we know the food that we ingest can also heal us and is also good for building immunity. I did want to share with everyone a little bit about Manuka. So Manuka Health is one of the other partners for the episode today. And I have a little graphic that I think will really paint a very clear picture of what Manuka Health can offer people if you take it as a supplement, right? So it's not only a sweetener, it boosts the immune system, aids in wound healing, promotes oral health, soothes a sore throat, which is excellent during the rainy season, helps prevent gastric ulcers, of course, improves digestive systems. The digestive system can treat also symptoms of cystic fibrosis. It helps ease respiratory system. So if you have asthma or a cough, this is good to take as well as a supplement, provides energy, and actually treats skin conditions. So for those of you that don't know about Manuka, Manuka is actually a honey, this particular brand, right? Manuka Health had started in 2006 in New Zealand, and it's actually the most expensive honey that you will find in the world. And it's got so many healing properties. So for those of you that don't know or don't understand, so Manuka honey, they have this little number here, right? And this number shows you the healing and the antibacterial properties that the honey will have. So this one that everyone will receive is MGO30. It's a blend. It's very good for sweetening your food, sweetening the rice pudding. You could put it in your tea, but wait for your tea to cool down a little bit, because you don't want to put it in boiling water. It loses its effect that way. And the higher the number, right? It goes all the way up to like 960. The higher the number, the more powerful it is. I actually had COVID in July, and I was taking Manuka, like 2 tablespoons of it every day. And I really felt like it made a difference. I recovered a little bit quicker, and, at least a little bit quicker than the other family members who took it and weren't taking Manuka. I've been buying Manuka for a while now and use it quite often. I think it'll be great with your tea. Just let your tea cool down a little bit before you put it in. So there, I mean, in terms of talking about food as medicine, there are things you can, incorporate into your diet that will help us get through this rainy day, these last few weeks of the rainy day season. We do have some comforting food from Pacholo that he would like to share. This is a recipe. I think, Pacholo, why don't you share about the recipe that you're going to kind of walk everybody through. And then right after that, Nick will share the recipe that she created using, her chef created using some of the Espafil products as well.
Okay, so the recipe I'm going to be sharing it's a simple Caesar salad recipe. The reason for it is because you can convert this into 3 different recipes if you think about it. You can find the recipe in our cookbook, which you can download. Obviously, you have the basic ingredients that you can all pretty self-explanatory there. But if you miss any of the ingredients or you don't have them at home, it's okay. Because when you remove, let's say, anchovies, for example, you still have garlic mayonnaise. And if you don't have garlic, then you just have regular mayonnaise. Right. So there's things you can do with this recipe, even without all the ingredients. Because at the end of the day, it's the olive oil and the eggs that make the base for things. Now, the egg whites are removed because that's what makes it too thick sometimes. Some people don't like that, but if you don't know what to do with egg whites, just use them. It'll give you a thicker salad. It's not the most authentic, but hey, it'll still less wastage. And then at the same time, when you have these different versions, then you don't need to like mix a lot and worry about how I finish. I can't eat Caesar salad for every day. And then if there's any vegans listening out here, you can actually switch the egg for the water from our chickpea, the canned chickpeas, right? If you use the water on that actually can create a vegan mayonnaise. So that's just 4 recipes already using the most basic of things, starting with our products, obviously.
Excellent. Starting with simple but quality ingredients, of course, is most important in those dressings. Okay, Nick, I know you used some of the Espafil products. So guys, if you did want to order from Espafil, it's espa-fil.com. You can see the recipe for Pacholo's Caesar salad dressing plus another recipe for lentil soup that his mom made. Beautiful pictures. I'm the type of person that I need pictures when I look at a recipe. So you'll see some of those pictures there and some very easy recipes using the Espafil products that you could order right on the website there. Nick, tell us what your chef prepared using some of those products as well. Oops, we're muted. Let's unmute Nick, please. Okay, so I'll jump in. I know this is the tinapa pasta. While I'm going through, hopefully we can unmute Nick. She used some of the products from Espafil, including the olive oil here. The chef used the extra virgin, sauteed some. Oh, there, Nick, you're unmuted.
Okay, perfect. So for the items that we used with Espafil products, so we made our tinapa pasta to start. So we used the olive oil and then we used our tinapa here and then we drizzled it with a balsamic cream. And then we also used it for the salad that you saw earlier. We used their canned tomatoes and bell peppers as well. And then we drizzled it with our balsamic vinaigrette. So yeah, you'll see over here in the tinapa pasta with salted egg and arugula. In the end, we drizzle the balsamic cream. There you go.
I love that balsamic cream. I put it on pretty much everything.
It's so good. And who would have thought you could put it in pasta as well? So there's a different mix of like salty and tangy, and then also that drizzle on top.
So here, I think this is the cherry tomatoes. Chef used the cherry tomatoes and the pimentos.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So the cherry tomatoes and the bell peppers. So it's very simple. We just tossed it together in a salad, added our own balsamic vinaigrette for a change, and then easy, maybe 5-minute recipe.
Super easy, and it looks special. It super looks special.
Uh-huh. Exactly. And you can choose any greens that you prefer. If you want to make it non-dairy, you can do that as well. But if you want to add cheese, you can too.
I love the little Parmesan or the Parmigiano Reggiano ribbons.
Shaving.
Always yummy. Yeah.
Mhm.
And you put some olives in there too, which of course are
Mhm.
available on the Espafil website as well. So,
Mhm.
all right, guys, that brings us to our next quiz the cook question. This is the third, and up for grabs, we have the pantry essentials, of course, from Espafil that you'll get to, go ahead and stock your pantry and keep them there for when you need them. A Christmas gift box of pastries from the Daily Needs. So Francesca and her sister have put together, a cute little Christmas box that will include some of these pastries here. You'll also get a gift certificate for some treatments at DS. Their clinic is located in Banawe, and you can go ahead and go take those treatments there on a rainy day or even a day that you just want to relax. 50 grams of a blended tea from Oh Holiday. You can go visit Renee as well in Rockwell or set an appointment with her if you would like to learn more about what she does with the herbs. You also get a gift box from NYX and Manuka honey with lozenges and oral spray, which is perfect for flu season right about now. Organic milk and a tumbler, and of course a tote bag delivered to your home from Les Mous, that French milk. So here we go. This is the third question. So don't be afraid. We still have, if you don't get this one, there's still 2 more chances to win. Remember, you have to have shared the live stream. Go ahead and make sure it's set to public so we can see it. We want the social media team to be able to see your live stream and have an address within Metro Manila that we can deliver those products to you. We will just be asking you to pick up your products from NYX and pick up your products from Oh Holiday so you can go and see their shop. Here we go. Renee, do you want to read this question for us?
So the question is, name 3 herbs that are included in Oh Holiday's immunity building tea.
Great. So this is definitely something that we want to remember and that we want to look for. Obviously, during this time, everybody is coming down with the flu. The kids last week, actually, some of them felt a little feverish. They weren't completely 100%. And when that happens for me, I just keep everybody home. If you had a fever the day before or even 2 days before, you're not going to school. I feel like we have to be responsible like that with our kids. Are your kids back in face-to-face school?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, they are. Yes. They've been actually for a while. Like they were part of the first test run of face-to-face. So my kids are very small. It was very hard to keep them at home and have them online. The attention is not there. So really for 2 years, I didn't use digital, and it was really a struggle to teach my children. But once they were face to face, we really just focused on strengthening their immunity. My kids love tea. They start drinking tea when they're already 3 months old. Although if you're going to do that, you need to speak to a practitioner or a registered herbalist. So so we just focus on building their immunities. And my kids, they actually take 2 tumblers to school. One is for water and one is for their tea.
Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness. This is so good. Okay, so I definitely need to talk to you because I want Jelly, if I could get her into drinking some tea also for digestion and some things that we're working on for her, I definitely will be contacting you after this. So I love that. Yeah. So since 3 months, your kids were drinking tea since 3 months. That's actually pretty incredible. So for me, I taught yoga for a long time. I don't teach anymore. I need to get back on the mat. I would like to, but I was doing yoga with Jelly when she was 3 weeks old. I brought her home from the hospital and she was doing yoga already because I knew the benefits. So, again, understanding the benefits and working with someone who's an expert, who's trained, who's certified is so important. So I'm so glad that you decided to join us on the show. Thank you. I'm sure other people are interested in this as well. So while we are waiting for that winner to be announced. It looks like everybody is answering, and they were paying attention, Renee. I see quite a few people have more than 3 answers, so that's good. Extra points, guys, if you get them all. Wait, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 ingredients. Extra points if you get all 5. Okay. Oh, there we have a winner. Congratulations, Jacob Dominic Bosquat. You answered correctly with ginger, jujube, and lotus leaf. Congratulations. So the social media team will get in touch with you. They'll ask for your information. Please make sure to turn that over in a timely fashion so we can, of course, get your partners to get you your prizes as well. And you can indulge in all of these rainy day comforts and these rainy day treats. So of course we know rainy season brings the flu, brings colds, brings people who, may not be completely 100% all the time. And when we're feeling under the weather, what do you like to do to take care of yourself? Like, what's your self-care tips let's start with Renee. What are the self-care tips that you would like to give our viewers when you're feeling under the weather?
Okay, I'm a little bit biased, but obviously with my self-care routine, there's always a tea or an herb or an herbal tincture involved. Actually, I don't sell herbal tinctures, but you can get them on any like local, not local. What's this? iHerb. There it is.
Okay.
So, yeah, you get on iHerb. So if you speak to a registered herbalist, they'll be able to tell you if you needed something like a tonic, or actually, there it is, healthy options. They have lots of herbal tonics. And so I think I'm a little bit biased. Obviously, I use herbs a lot in my everyday and my daily rituals. My team do as well. They're all trained by me, and they're very familiar with the herbs. So they also incorporate it into their daily routines for self-care. They're always asking me when I'm at the booth, "Ma'am, I have like this. What can you recommend for me?" And I'm like, "Oh, you should probably have a tincture of ashwagandha," and they'll go and they'll buy that.
Okay, that's fantastic and very good to know, especially for people who are looking for alternative ways, obviously to address any colds or sniffles that they might have during this time. Nicole, what are some of the things that you like to do or you look for when you're not completely 100%?
So actually, same as Renee, I'm a tea girl. So I love preparing tea, especially in the morning, like when I first wake up. I have acidity, so I try to do that before coffee. And then at night, I try to do another cup as well, more to like relax, de-stress, and I put honey on it as well. So I'm very excited to try the Manuka honey to combine with the holiday tea blends, because I feel like that's going to be really good for me and it will help my immunity moving forward in this rainy season. But yeah, other than that, maybe a good warm soup, maybe one of the clam chowders we have here, and then try to unwind earlier and quit work a little bit early on and just rest, decompress, and just put maybe a good movie or show on and try to keep my mind off things. Because I feel like a lot of the physical things we feel is related to our mental health as well. So I think it's very important to keep a clear mind and also try to realign and focus to see what could be the core reason behind why we're feeling this physical problems as well. So,
excellent. Yeah. Yes, agree. And when I was actually teaching kids yoga, I tell the kids that we have 3 selves. We have our emotional, we have our mental, and then our physical, and they're all intertwined. That they affect one another. So if you are kind of under the weather and something might be affecting you, you're thinking about it, you're upset, or maybe you're emotional, they all do affect one another. So that's really great advice. Pacholo, how about you when you're feeling under the weather? What is something you look for, or a helpful hint that you could share with the viewers that you like to do, either to take care of yourself or the kids or Pia?
Well, so for food, it's always going to be soup. Me in particular, I'm a big fan of noodle soup because I don't know, so it's something about slurping the noodles that actually just also adds joy aside from the warmth of soup. But then if you have, let's say, a little bit of a cough and cold, we have a little bit more of a recipe of my grandma in Spain, where you get an apple, you cut out the core, you punch out the core, you pour a shot of brandy or rum in it. You
Ooh,
microwave the apple for 5 minutes till it's nuclear heated.
yeah.
And when you take it out, it's so soft that you actually eat the apple with a spoon, and it soothes your throat and removes all the itch and phlegm. So
Oh my
that's,
Wow.
goodness. That
it's
is like baked
but
apple on
obviously,
steroids.
if you're below, well, the alcohol pretty much gets nuked in the microwave. So
Okay.
I don't know if minors, it still counts, right? But that would be one little for a cough recipe.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, just overall, a hot shower, like even if you're
Yeah.
not directly under it, but something enough to get all the steam in and just breathe it in and out. Maybe have an audiobook or a playlist just so you can stay longer until people start knocking the door. Are you dead? No, no, no. um,
Dad.
and yeah, and then afterwards it's just a lot of rest and a lot of fluids. The most basic things. Those are still
Yeah.
the ones that will work the most. Then.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Really great advice from everybody, from the herbs to, of course, clearing your mind, disconnecting a little bit earlier. I know since many of us have been working from home, we end up working later, and we might even be answering emails later when we should be resting. Like even for the foundation with Best Buddies and our staff, like I want them to stop working at 6 and just rest. Their rest is a big part of it, right? So all really great, helpful hints. Another thing that I like to do, so I know Nix has ready to heat meals. These are available in store. They're also available online, and they're also available. I've seen them in Landers as well. Nick, I know you have quite a few different varieties. So when I'm feeling under the weather, I don't want to cook. I don't want to make 3 or 4 different things for the family to enjoy. I want to relax and maybe just heat something up that is good for everybody that they will like as well. Tell us about your ready to heat line.
Okay, so during the pandemic, like I mentioned earlier, we had to pivot into making some of our meals frozen, so that for our clients that, like you mentioned, don't want to be too long in the kitchen and cook something that takes a while, we prepared ready to heat meals. So like you can see here, we have a mix of different things from breakfast food. So we have like sirloin tapa, naked longanisa, tocino, but we also have soup, such as our clam chowder, which you'll see here and you'll see in our video later. And then we also have more dinner meals, so like roast Angus salpicao, salmon salpicao, rosemary chicken, chicken barbecue, and the infamous baby back ribs. If you want something a little bit lighter, we even have like smoked milkfish, which you can make into a pasta or fried rice. We even have our ranch dressing, balsamic vinaigrette, Caesar dressing. So anything that you're feeling, you can make in an instant, less than 10 minutes, I promise. So yeah.
Right. Super easy. And so how many different frozen viands do you have that we could look for?
So we have around 16, and you can find them actually apart from Landers in Unimart, Royal Subic, and Pacific Bay. We're also on all the food apps like Grab. So if you don't know where to get us, just call us or look in those apps.
Right. Or even message also on Instagram. I know you're the one
Or
managing
Facebook,
Instagram account. Yeah, Facebook. So fantastic. We do have some comments before you share the pulled pork barbecue wraps video with the clam chowder. I want to see, okay, we had Lee who said, wow, another great tip from Sir Pacholo. That apple tip was really great.
I know, I want to try it.
Me too. And Ditas is saying, oh, so pretty, Miss Nicole. So
Thank you.
she thinks you're so pretty.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our guests are pretty and handsome. All right, Nicole, tell us about what we're going to make, in a snap with the help of Nick's frozen meals here.
All right. Should I wait for the video or just head on?
Yeah, I think it's gonna go ahead and roll. We can roll it.
Okay. Okay. So while waiting, so we have, as I mentioned earlier, these ready-to-eat packed meals. So they come frozen and super simple for that one. You can just pour it over here and make them in an instant. But I think in the video right now, they're starting with the baby back ribs. So our baby back ribs come in frozen packs as well. All you have to do is heat them right away in a pan. And then you'll see later on, you're just gonna shred the baby back ribs and then put them over a wrap, which you'll see here on the video as well. So everything's very easy. All you'll need is corn, tomatoes, and lettuce. Cut them up and put them together as well. So yeah, you'll see them in the video. And again, it's super
That was
easy.
so fast.
Yeah, super fast. What's nice about it is, you know, it's very comforting and you can make it for the whole family as well. And if you want to pair them with a soup, you can too. And you already have a gastronomic, ready-to-eat meal in an instant.
There you go. And I love that you mixed in the fresh with the frozen.
Exactly.
So you get everything all at once and then coupling it with the soup. So tell us about the soup.
So the soup as well is made from the pack. So it's ready to eat. You can actually even microwave it if you don't have a stove at home. It's for those who want to get a soup in an instant. And what we did here is we put a little bit of sheet of bacon bits on top. So you'll see that.
Extra. Love it.
And then I forgot to mention as well for the wrap that you see here, we topped it with a ranch dressing, which you can see. Just like drizzled on top for an extra kick as well. Yeah.
This is something that I can totally imagine my big kids doing on their own. All they would have to do if I wasn't home or if Nino and I were out, they could totally do this on their own and manage it. Even, you know, even the littler one could probably help out.
Yeah, because you can even use a microwave as well. So if, you know, your kids can't use the stove, if it's too dangerous for them because of their age, they can also do this whole recipe themselves through a microwave too.
Excellent. So those are microwave safe containers they can just put in. Fantastic.
Exactly.
Great. Super easy, guys. I hope you're paying attention because we do have the fourth Quiz the Cook question that's up for grabs where you will get some of those frozen meals for you to try at home as well. Up for grabs, we have the gift basket with all the pantry essentials from Espafil Market, Christmas gift box of pastries from the Daily Need. You'll get some treatments over at DS. You can visit them in Banawe, some blended tea from Oh Holiday when you visit in Rockwell, a gift box with those ready-to-heat meals from Nick's, and you'll also receive Manuka honey, some lozenges, oral spray, and some organic milk from Lemu. So guys, these are all really great products, useful, of course, healing, things that we want to use and you know, especially during this season, it's rainy season. Okay, Nick, could you please read the next question for us? Remember, guys, this is the fourth question, so it's the fourth person to answer correctly.
Okay, so question number 4. How many products does Nick's have in the ready-to-heat frozen line?
All right. So if you were paying attention, you will know this quick answer. We chatted about it very quickly. So it's really nice that Nick is back. I think last time, Nick, you were here, we were talking about the holiday line. We even had the turkey out on the table. I was in Florida at that time.
Yeah,
so
we missed you. That was a fun live.
That was.
Yeah,
go ahead. Tell us.
No, I was gonna say, what was nice about that is since you were gone, Gia, your daughter, was with me here. Actually, we did the live from here, and it was a really fun episode. You know, we got along as well, and we got to even have some cocktails, which we serve here, and yeah, we got to feast and maybe exchange our different holiday traditions. She shared some of what your family does, and then I shared what mine does too. And I guess a common theme is that we're both foodies and we both like to enjoy spending time in the kitchen and, you know, hosting and gathering around with food as the center of it all. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so the holidays are coming up, right? We can chat a little bit. I know everybody here, we're excited to get together with our families. I don't know about you guys. did you kind of have quieter holidays the past couple of years, and are you ready now? It is comforting to be around the family during the holidays. No, I know we're going to be talking about the holidays a couple of episodes from now, but it is November. We are talking about Thanksgiving. I know myself, I'm planning my Thanksgiving menu, and that is comfort. Pacholo, Renee, how about you? When you guys look for the holidays, what's comforting even for that, for the holidays as we come together?
Ladies first.
Yes. Well, comforting for the holidays. Usually, pre-pandemic, it was always we went back home to the States to spend time with my family for the holidays, and then during the pandemic, we had to really switch it up because we couldn't fly out.
Right.
So with our family, it's my husband's a chef actually, so we love to cook at home. We love to make meals. Our kids, our daughters, they love to cook. They at 2 and 3 years old, they know how to like slice up with a knife, a proper knife, and they'll actually like and, and they really love cooking. So I think we started to come around together in the kitchen more. Where previously to that, it was really just traveling and things like that.
Right.
So it's so much nicer now, actually.
So I love that you're sharing the kitchen love even more. I think that's a gift that everybody, well, this is a gift. This kitchen love, this show came out of the pandemic as well. So all of us being in our own kitchen, sharing our own kitchen love and the little things that we like to do, not just that are comforting for the rainy days, but now, Pacholo, how about you guys? What do you guys do for the holidays that's comforting?
So, well, before the pandemic, my wife and I would both have big families. So it's actually a lot of political negotiations as taking turns. I'm sure a lot can relate. Oh, whose side this time? Next time,
Yes.
Christmas us, New Year's you guys, and back and forth. So the
Yes.
pandemic, in a way, was a bit of a blessing because the obligations lessened, and you could really concentrate on just immediate family.
Right.
And that's because also, let's say, like my mom, she's a super host. So, and the specialty that people look for would always be her paella, which is my grandmother's recipe from Spain, which you can
Oh, how
download
much?
in our online cookbook. The downside of that would be I'd have paella every day for the month. But so of course, I mean, it sounds like a bratty thing to say, but like paella na naman. but but at least now it's something like, well, we really get to
Yeah.
enjoy less of it, but then we do actually get to bond better with it because you're not rushing off to the next place. You don't have to always book calendars. But by the way, we're going to be importing starting next year paella broth.
Wow.
Ooh,
Okay.
wow.
That will make life easier for so many people.
Yes, it's actually it's something we're very excited to bring in. So by beginning of next year, that's how we're going to be starting the year. You can literally just pour it with rice and use it in the rice cooker, and that's that's how simple it is. Obviously, you want to put sahog, diba? But if you're like lazy, that's the simplest, most basic version. You cannot fail with it. So, but going back,
Fantastic.
that's where the Christmases will probably be also a little bit more comforting now that we're kind of opening up, but it's not
Yes.
full blown yet. So
Yes.
again, I think it'll be a relaxed schedule, but it'll be nice to celebrate it already, also with friends in person, and actually see what how people have changed. Like before pandemic, I had no daughter, and then now I have a 2-year-old. So some people are like, what?
You have like a whole human.
Yeah,
You
it's like,
added
yeah, we got her in Lazada.
you added another human. Okay, so we do have our fourth winner, Ivan D. Onko. Congratulations for answering correctly. You answered 16 viands from Nix. So, guys, if we're talking about comfort during the holidays, comfort during these rainy season where we're kind of coming together, and it's a lot of times it's where we cocoon, right? We take care of the family, we come together, we go out a little bit less, and now as things are opening up, of course, we want to make sure we keep our immunity up. We want to make sure that we're doing good things for our bodies and for our kids and our families as we now go out and start celebrating a little bit more and start going out and enjoying people. So, of course, as always, we want to know what else you guys want us to talk about. Next week, 2 weeks from now, we'll be talking about some Bacolod dishes. We'll have some guests from Bacolod from our recent trip that we went, Nino and I went, and I was so excited to try some Bacolod food, some of the food from Negrense food. And then after that, we're going to start celebrating the holidays. So if there are specific things that you guys want to learn about, if you think there are people that you would like to learn from, shoot me a message. I'd love to invite them to come and guest on the show. But before we go, let's, of course, hear from everyone on the show now. Tell us about what you have coming up. Pocholo mentioned the broth, right, for the paella. And tell us about what's coming, what we can look for, where viewers can follow you, order products, or go see you for, Renee, even for consultation. How can people get in touch? So let's start with Nyx first. And I'll share that if you guys want to order turkey for Thanksgiving, Nick is where I order our turkey from. We've been ordering from her now, I think, for like 3 or 4 years already. Once we found Nyx, we stopped ordering turkey from everyone else. So I just don't want to slave for that long, guys. I'd like to enjoy. I'll just order it from Nyx. It's easier. Okay, so Nick, why don't you tell us, where we can find you?
Okay, so where you can find us is in our actual store, which is here in Park Terraces in Makati. We're on the ground floor next to Raffles. And if you're actually just wandering in different stores, you can go find us in Landers, Walmart, Unimart, Royal, and Pacific Bay as well. We're also on all the food apps, and then you can also contact us on Instagram or Facebook at NixPH. And something to look forward to in the next few months. Well, we have Thanksgiving, which is really big for us. So if you are interested in getting your turkey, I highly suggest you pre-order as soon as now, just so that you can guarantee a slot for those holidays. And then Christmas as well is coming up. So we're going to have like a lot of orders for platters. We have pasta, different rice meals, savories, things like that. And definitely our pastries such as cakes and different dessert meals. So yeah, things to look forward to in the next few months.
Excellent. Thank you, Nicole. Okay, Renee, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you, where they can, find your herbs, and how to book a consultation if they would like to book one.
Yes, so we have our Rockwell booth, and we have a really good promo right now at our Rockwell booth. It's if you buy 2, you get 10% off, or if you buy 3, you get 15% off of your tea. So it's a great gift to give loved ones for the holidays. If you want to book a consultation or order online, we ship nationwide also. We have a website, and that's ohholiday.shop. And you can also book a consultation on the website as well. So I have a little tab there where you can click it and book a consultation. Things to look forward to, actually. Next year, we'll be focusing on local herbs. So most of the herbs that we use are actually imported from all over the world. But next year, we'll be putting together our little section in the apothecary where we'll be carrying herbs and herbal blends that are locally famous, like pito pito, for example, and things like that. But I've been doing a lot of research and a lot of testing and trial and error. So I want to give you some really good kind of elevated local herb blends.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for that. And yeah, it is very exciting. I'm so glad, Nick, that you actually suggested to invite Renee when we were chatting about, how this episode was going to come. It's such a good fit. And I feel like, it definitely gives people insight and information on how they can take better care of themselves during the rainy season with herbs and tea. And of course, Nicole, Renee, I'm also going to be asking about those hormonal teas as well. I am nearing 50. So, okay. So, yes, Pocholo. So, Pocholo, tell us where everybody can find you and the recipes from your mom and how to order products.
Right. So thanks for saving the most madaldal for last. Um, well, for our products, again, although we are nationwide, I will give tips for the shoppers out there. So for supermarkets, Landmark, Unimart, Cash and Carry, and Makati Supermarket will have the cheapest products of Espafil, as well as almost every other importer. Mostly because these are family-style run supermarkets that don't charge much for suppliers to enter, and that's why they're able to mark them quite low. And
Wow.
that's why they're also the most complete when it comes to imported stuff. So if you also have a small business and you'd like to enter supermarkets, let's say Nick and Renee, if you guys do, these would be the first ones where they're centrally located. They will say yes, doesn't matter how big or small the company is. They're there to be complete. So that's where I'd suggest for on-premise purchases. But online, obviously the big guys are there. Pacific Bay is a good friend, so he's very complete. Our site is obviously there, but we shouldn't neglect our friends outside GMA. So for the Pampamgueños of the Gatas ng Kalabaw fans out there, Lazada, Shopee, and Lazmart and Panda Mart would be where you will find the most complete range of products from us, because the supermarkets don't necessarily carry everything, because some don't sell as well. But the specialty
Mm.
items, if you want to find them all the way down to Visayas and Mindanao, Panda Mart, Lazada, and Shopee would be your best bets. And then for new products, a little sneak preview, if you don't mind. We've never announced it yet, so it will be the first right now, because we didn't plan on announcing it. But so for the Spanish broths, chicken was obviously going to be there as a basic, but then we do have seafood, cocido, and the paella broth that's going to be coming in. For Capri brand, oh sorry, that's going to be under our Don Simon brand. The Capri brand, we're going to actually have Spanish mayonnaise, four types: the regular one, the one with garlic, and the one with olive oil. So you have an aioli there. So if you're too tamad to make the recipe we shared a while ago, Capri will be coming up with a squeezable version. And I think for what we're still developing is also going to be expanding our truffle products, because for some reason during the pandemic, the truffle oil suddenly became like the most sold. Yeah, I don't know why, but it's just selling. It's skyrocketed by 1,000%. So we're glad that people are enjoying it, and so we're going to be expanding on that one. Maybe coming up with smaller bottles so that those that don't have much use for a lot of it can just, hindi masasayang din lang naman.
Yeah, I love that truffle oil. It's actually also in the pantry all the time. One of our favorite things to make is truffled egg salad, but you really can put it in everything. It just elevates the flavor. I know Nino is always like, "Did you put truffle oil in this?" I'm like, "Yes, I love it."
Yeah.
So
And to finish the bottle, popcorn, and
yeah.
those Korean seaweed. That's the one where you can finish the bottle, no problem.
You are just given the tips and tricks, Pacholo. Everybody is so happy you are here. I will say hello to Emmy Dabada. He is Emmy. Emmy, she is watching from San Diego. Thank you. We're so happy that you're tuning in. And she also said, "Wow, cash and carry. She's going to visit." So excellent. Oh, and Rang, please include kansi. Okay, we're going to ask someone to teach us kansi in the Bacolod episode. Guys, it's so nice when you get to chat with everyone who's tuning in. And of course, we want to learn side by side with you as well. But guys, I know you're counting. You guys are probably like counting. We only did 4 quiz the cook questions. We are going to end with the 5th. Of course, there is still one more gift pack up for grabs for the 5th quiz the cook question, and everybody who's on call is so excited to share their products with you. Up for grabs, of course, we have the Espafil Pantry Essentials. We have a Christmas gift box from the Daily Need, an ID and a coin purse holder, plus some treatments worth 2,000 pesos from DS. Blended tea from O Holiday, a gift box with ready-to-heat meals that you can pick up from Nick's. Manuka honey, of course, you get the MGO 30 lozenges, oral spray, magnets, and an umbrella for those last few rainy days. Some organic milk, an acrylic tumbler, and a tote bag. Before we, after we read this last question, I do want to tell you a couple of other things about the daily need, because she has some things coming up that I think some of you might be interested in. We do have some bakers and bakers, and I want to give you guys a heads up because Francesca also offers different ways. She teaches people how to cook and how to bake as well.
Ooh.
So let's read the question. I'll go ahead and read this one because I am a Manuka lover, and I will read this question. And so, name 3 benefits to using Manuka honey as a supplement in your diet during this rainy season. So if you were paying attention, we made it very easy on all of you. I don't usually make it this easy, but I did want you to understand the benefits of having this antibacterial, antimicrobial honey that is very good to keep, in the cabinet. You don't put it in the fridge. You keep it in the cabinet, in the pantry. But I did want to tell you about daily needs. So Francesca actually has a partnership with SMEG in their concept kitchen in Makati. And so it's an experience center where she actually teaches people who want to learn how to bake. The next workshop that she has, so it's coming up with a daily need. It's a baking workshop on November 26th or 27th, and she will be teaching people how to make show pastry. So show pastry is, the pastry that you would make using eclairs, cream puffs, gougères. It's all this like very eggy dough that when you bake it, it becomes puffy and you can put fillings in it. It's the same dough that you would use to make profiteroles. So Francesca's going to be teaching people how to do that. Slots are limited. So if you want to, learn how to make that, go ahead and shoot her a message on the Daily Need on Instagram. And then aside from that, let's see, you can of course visit in Power Plant, and you can visit Renee as well, right? So you could get your tea, you could get your pastries, you could walk over and you could shoot over to Nick to visit Nick's and
Yeah,
pick
actually,
up
we're beside Smeg. We're actually just like across. Yeah.
you're right
Perfect.
next to Meg. So it is perfect. So that's when you guys can go if you decide. And so that's it. So for everyone, so my guests that are on, please don't sign off. We will announce the winner and then we will say goodbye. And but before we sign off, just stay on so we can chat backstage a little bit longer. It looks like we have a winner. Guys, remember, if you won any of the prizes today, we'd love to see what you make with them. Right. So if you're going to make lentil soup, if you're going to have your tea and your pastries, please tag us. We want to see Kitchen 143 and, of course, all of the partners who are there. You can go ahead and check my profile, the Rappler profile for all of the partners who are there. Why don't you guys also mention your Instagram handles so they can tag you as well? Renee, would you mention your Instagram handle for people again?
Yes, sure. For O Holiday, it's at oholiday.shop.
Excellent. And then Pocholo, if they decide to make some hearty soups.
So ours is at Espafil Market. That would be the best one.
Excellent. And Nick, share your Instagram handle as well.
For ours, it's at NixPH.
Perfect. So guys, if you did win, we want to see, we know that hashtag sharing is caring, and our partners are sharing all of these lovely gifts with you. So you could share some rainy day comfort food with your friends and family, and we would love to see them as well. So I will congratulate Rogelio T. Gumapa Jr. Congratulations, Gumapo. Started in wow, you gave us a lot of information. New Zealand. It helps aid wound healing, treats sore throats, treats skin conditions, and provides energy. Absolutely. It also boosts immunity. So the skin conditions, I will tell you guys, like if you have eczema or an irritation or even a burn, you can actually take the honey and put it right on the skin condition and it will help. On that note, I am Michelle Aventajado. I hope you guys are staying safe, staying healthy, And of course, let's see this rainy season all the way through, and so we can start celebrating and ringing in the holidays. Thank you, Renee, Nicole, and of course, Pacholo, for joining me on cam. I hope you had fun. And for you guys, we will see you soon for the Bacolod episode in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.